Welcome back. I've made my mind up 100%. I'm going to replace the whole sills both sides. I'm not going to spend any more time and effort trying to save and repair. This is the left hand side. I've not touched the left hand side yet. And when I bought the car, it was like minor perforations. I had an MOT plate welded on, which is a mess. I knew it was a mess, but at least it was MOT'd. Same the other side. I just know that the metal is going to perforate again. It looks fine, you know. We've got reasonable paint. There's no perforations, but the sharp-eyed of you will have noticed when I was oxyacetylene welding, there was some sparkling coming from the metal. It shouldn't sparkle. It sparkles like a firework. The children, you just get the sort of sparkling. What was sparkling was the original metal. The new metal, the shiny metal, was perfect. It wasn't sparkling. But I saw it, and I should have stopped welding a couple of weeks ago. I knew that there was a problem. What causes the metal to sparkle? When there's corrosion in the metal, even if it's only minor, once you put heat to it, it sparkles. I don't know if you ever remember back at school putting iron filings in a Bunsen burner, and they sort of sparkle, and it's exactly the same thing when you weld. And the sharp-eyed of you will have noticed when I was oxyacetylene welding, there was a little bit of sparkling coming off. Had I been MIG welding, you'd have never seen it. There's that many sparks and flashes coming from MIG. So I would have got the panel all welded in with MIG, ground it back, and I'd have been blissfully unaware that there was surface corrosion, clearly going to cause a problem down the line. So I've decided to stop. I'm going to cut the whole sills off, both sides, forget about it, clean it, paint it inside, rust treat it, and start again from scratch. I did want to save the original panels, but as I say, just because I know that there's surface corrosion on the inside, it's not catastrophic at this stage. It hasn't perforated, but it will. So I'm now going to start on the in the boot. Let's just put the light on. Boot floors are notorious in Jaguars. They usually go literally all the way around. This is pretty well. It's excellent all the way around. Let's just block the sunlight. So all the way around, it's excellent. Apart from the back, all under that fuel pump's perfectly fine. They're usually all gone round here. You can buy a complete panel, but what's happened is it's gone here. And I noticed this when I was buying the car. I took the tyre out and I did notice it, and strictly it's an MOT failure. Now somebody at some point has put some filler. See this horrible white stuff? That's filler that's been put on the underside. So there is there we go, let's just push that. There we go, pushed it straight through. It goes straight through anyway. Let's just get it off. It's held on with something, but you get a better idea. So I've got a bit of a mess here. It's not the most difficult job. I can easily fabricate this and cut it back. What I'm worried about, obviously, I've got an 11-gallon petrol tank here, 11-gallon petrol tank there. There's about a 60-litre LPG tank here. And obviously the fuel pump, the fuel lines, fuel hoses, this has all got to be moved. Oh, fuel pump. It's not going to be the most straightforward job. So now I've yet to work out how exactly I'm going to tackle it. That's what I need to do. I've got to do some cutting back. I really need to sort of cut out the rubbish, and because there's a lot of rubbish in here. Now that is part of the valance underneath. This metal is supposed to join this metal here, and that is the secondary skim, which is the valance under here. That's going to get taken off. I've got a brand new valance, so largely a lot of this will be hidden on the underneath. So the valance clearly comes right up to here. I don't think I'll oxyacetylene weld it. That'll be a bit too much in here. It's asking for trouble. What I'll probably do is overlap the welds. If I can get good enough metal, I'll sort of overlap it. I'll put a joggle in the original, like a step. I've got a joggling tool. Put a step and let the material in, and I think I'll plug weld it. Probably about every 10 millimeters, something like that. Strictly, you're supposed to seam weld it, but with the fire risk, I'm not taking out the petrol tanks. I'm just not going to do it. But if I punch holes in the new panel and literally plug the holes, I think that'll be enough. This will be straightforward. Less straightforward on here. There's a curve that drops down. Unfortunately, it has rotted up to the curve, but I don't know. I'll find a way. I will find a way, and I'll film the whole lot. But what I won't be doing is doing it, you know, taking out the petrol tanks and all the fuel. Well, I'll probably take the fuel lines out, or I don't know whether it would be safer to disconnect this and lift the fuel pipe up and plug than it would be to try and take this off and try and bung up. I don't know. There's a possibility of trying to bung up the metal bit, but it's probably safer to bend the rubber out the way. But it's not a job I've been looking forward to. You know, I knew I was going to be facing this at some point, and we're now here. So I'm going to sort of trim some of this back and see what good metal I can find, and just try and I don't know, I might even do it in sections rather than one hole. I'll let you know what I'll do, but you can see it's going to be quite a challenge. But the spare wheel sits in here, and then this totally rotten panel hides whatever repair I do. So I want it to be decent, but I'm not going to go mad trying to spend too much time, and because I'm not replacing the whole floor, definitely not. But it is going to be a bit of a challenge, but we'll get there.